Good morning, Team ECISD. This is Mandy Nohos with your Instructional Technology team. Today's lesson comes from Seesaw. We are going to show you how to log in using to Seesaw to use as a platform with your students and parents. So I'm at Google. Let's just go ahead and come up to the Omni box. What you'll type is seesaw.me, seesaw.me, and this will take you to Seesaw's homepage. So once you get in here, once you get to their main homepage, if you already have an account, of course, you'll just click log in. If you've never created an account, you're going to click sign up for free. At this homepage, of course, you'll select I am a teacher. When you create the account, clearly I already have one for my account. It's easiest if you just scroll down here to do teacher sign up with Google. And so once you click that button, you should be directed to your ecisd.school account. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click on EdTech to show you from here. Most likely you will be redirected to sign in with first.last and then the password that you normally use to sign into the computer. Give it a hot moment to redirect and get it set up. And so when you first log into the platform, it's going to say, welcome, let's create your first class. And so there's a button to create a class. So how that happens, I'm just going to come over here and do create new class. So you can name your class. And so let's just do online learning is what we'll call it. I'm going to go ahead and possibly select, I don't know, first grade. Seesaw is fantastic with our littles, so pre-K through third would be a fantastic target area. However, I have seen it utilized in fourth and fifth grade classrooms as well. So you make your choice on this platform. If you are a fourth grade teacher or higher, it's completely up to you. So I'm going to select first grade, and then I'm going to check our green dot up here to continue on. Once the class is created, it automatically goes to our journal. And so the journal is where you will see, and other students will see, the work that has been uploaded. You see we have no students here yet. So in order to invite students, you would click on this plus sign. You want to say yes when having students sign in, of course, for that safety purpose. And then just know that however you share the information with your parents and students, if they have an Apple or an Android phone, they would need to download the Seesaw Class app. There's 3 different types of Seesaw apps, so make sure they download the Seesaw Class app. They can also utilize a computer as well within Chrome or Firefox. Those are the best browsers for this purpose. You then will let them know to select I'm a student, and then they will put this code in. Now, this code, it clearly says here to not share on social media because it's very specific for that classroom. Once students enter that code, then they will sign in to their Google account, so their ID number at ecisd.school. And for our younger students, their password, I believe, is just their ID number. Again, you also have the option to have students scan a QR code, which is fine, but how we are about to begin our learning, it might be easier right now just to simply use the code. You can email students with these instructions, and so you can copy this email and send it out, and it'll just walk them through the steps. Now, how do I get my activities in there? How do I see activities that my students, or how do I assign activities that my students can do, right? So Over here on the right-hand side, under our online learning as our teacher, we're going to click on activities. And there are two ways you can do this. So they have an activity library, which is pretty fancy. Of course, other teachers have already utilized this platform to create activities, so you don't have to ponder over this too much. Or, of course, you can add your own by simply clicking the green add button up here. For today's purpose, I'm going to just do the browse activity library. So once it pops up, if this is your first time here, you might see the getting started with Seesaw in first grade. The remote learning for first grade is something new that Seesaw has just put out, of course, within the last, let's go with the week. You can also see the trending searches and what is popular. And so um, here is a really cool one. Let's just go ahead and take a look at this activity, this family interview, how to use math. And so what is cool is the student instructions are already given um, down here. And so your students are just going to basically interview somebody. You have a family why. The instructions are recorded as well for here. And then there are some teacher notes that the students will not see. So if this looks like something interesting to you, what you have to do is just simply click assign. Now, you can see that I have two different classrooms. I'm going to just assign it to this online learning classroom. If I wanted to assign it to all, I would just click the boxes for the classes that I want. So I'm going to assign it to a class. And then now our students can go log in with the Seesaw class app, and then they can put the code in and the online learning can begin. So I'm going to just come over here and click. And so the activity, the whole instruction will be over here in the activity, um, in the activities button. Again, the journal, you won't see anything in the journal because that's where students will post to. So until somebody posts in the journal, you won't be able to see anything there. Now, you can you approve once students do something, then you have to approve it in order for it to go on the journal so you don't just have many random inappropriate things possibly on here. So let's take a look and see what this looks like for a student. So we're just going to click on sample student. And up here, they have the instructions again. Oh my gosh, what was I supposed to do? Right. So they have to ask a family member if they can interview them. Be sure to write these questions and, write them down. And so then students would utilize the recording tool to interview their parents. So I could click on video. I would open my webcam here. And so then the student could sit and interview with their parent about the math instructions. So again, I can still view the instructions, how to use math. So I could say, hey, mom, how do we use math at home? And the mom could have that conversation. Once students, I'm going to go ahead and record just for a second. Hi, this is Mandy Nohos here, and I'm interviewing my mom about how we use math at home. Okay, and so then I'm just going to go ahead and say done with this. Students can rewatch their video, and they can also, if you want them to, or if they're ready, they can capture this interview took place on Tuesday, March 17th, 2020. Do they have to write that? No, just so you know. So then I'm going to hit the check mark up here to submit this. Okay, so now in my journal, I can see the work that I did here. Now, what's really cool is that after it's been approved, then students can like it. They can comment on it as well, which makes this pretty nifty. There are some other features down here that you can see. Um, you have the option to save this, to print this, to share it. So that's pretty cool. Um, Once you have students that are in your class, then you can share with their families. Um, yeah, you can share conversations with their families. You can share the work that your students are doing with their families, and so it's a really great communication piece as well. Of course, the inbox for you will be the announcements that you send to your families. There is that privacy. You can do the private message between the families. So that's what makes this really nice. There are skills in here that you could assign, um, but it is an upgraded thing. So clearly, you see that we could try it for 60 days, but you could at least assign different skills if you wanted to look into that. I'm going to come back to activities really quickly. Um, I talked to you about adding an activity um, through um, through the community, through what they already had developed. Um, but you can also choose to create your own activity in your library. So you would create a new activity. The activity name would, let's just say, introduce yourself. Okay. And so you would type the instructions for the student. Let's see, tell me your name. Not that you don't know their name already, but tell me your name. What did you do over spring break? How are you feeling this week? Right? Just to have a simple conversation. I could add voice instructions where I'm simply reading this stuff out loud, just in case I do have students who are non readers. And then I can also add different instructions or examples. So I could save that, and then I would have to assign it once I created it. So this is a very basic, very, very basic thing um, that I could do. And so again, in the activities, you see that here's what I already did. Now this is stacking on top of it. So it always shows the newest on top. I am going to end this tutorial for now. If you have any questions, please reach out to your instructional technology specialist for your campus. Look for our emails and get in touch with us just so we know if there's anything else that we can help you with on this brand new online learning journey. Have a great day. Thank you.